I am here, my YouTube channel subscribers, to Big Bill Anderson's Death Tours on January 8th, 2019. I'm at the former home of James Barrier, better known as Buffalo Jim. Jim lived here in Las Vegas for 37 years, operating a well-known automotive shop. He was a mechanic, a wrestling and boxing promoter, and a single father of 4 beautiful daughters. Jim's shop shared a parking lot with Crazy Horse 2 Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas. Through the years, Jim and Crazy Horse 2 owner Rick Rizzolo, a reported mob affiliate, had dozens of clashes regarding the spaces where the patrons parked that were allocated to both of them. Not to mention Jim coming to open his shop and finding beaten up patrons from the doormen from the night before from the Crazy Horse 2. Eventually, Rick Rizzolo was to spend a year in prison because of his owing a couple $1 million in back taxes. Within a couple days of his getting out of prison, Jim Barrier was found dead in a Motel 6 room. On the night of April 5th, Jim left this beautiful home at 7:30 p.m., telling his 15-year-old daughter that he was going to see a friend and would be home by 12:30 a.m. He got into his white Rolls Royce and was seen at 8:20 p.m. checking into Motel 6 at 4125 Boulder Highway. By 9 p.m., the coroner estimates Jim was dead. Jim's daughter saw the surveillance footage of him checking in and said he appeared out of it, not himself. His body was found the next day by a maid coming to clean the room. Jim was lying flat on his back. Police came and instantly ruled the death natural, no foul play. An empty Valium bottle was found on the nightstand, but no fingerprints were taken of that bottle. 2 of Jim's daughters came to identify his body and did not see his white Rolls Royce in the parking lot. The car mysteriously reappeared the next day and was immaculately cleaned on the inside. The police were told of the many death threats given to their father via phone calls and letters, but they turned a blind eye to all of that. A woman known only as Lisa told police that she had been with Jim Barrier the night before and that he had had a seizure, and she left him in the room. Jim's wallet contained $1 and no driver's license. Jim always carried a large sum of cash on him, and obviously he would have needed a driver's license and a credit card to have checked into the hotel. The coroner also found 20 milligrams of GHB and traces of cocaine in his system. I personally believe Jim was given GHB, known as the date rape drug, by this girl Lisa, believed to be an ex-stripper at the Crazy Horse 2 and employee of Rick Rizzolo. And I believe this drug was given to him in his car before Jim checked into the Motel 6. Just a half hour later, he was dead. It's important to note here that Crazy Horse 2 owner Rick Rizzolo had contributed $135,000 in recent years, including $40,000 to then Mayor Oscar Goodman, a former mob lawyer for Chicago outfits Tony Spilotro and for Rick Rizzolo himself. This money also went to District Attorney David Roger and to 7 district judges, 3 municipal judges, and a city councilman and a Clark County clerk. This helps explain why the police had no interest in pursuing the Barrier family's request for a murder probe. The Barrier family have hired an independent pathologist to verify the real cause of their father's death and was denied the results, stating that they would not be released unless the file was needed for a court case. That was 11 years ago, still no results. So the Barrier daughters have been stonewalled at every turn involving their father's death. There's so much corruption here in Sin City. I personally met Jim Barrier back in the mid 1990s after a WWF television taping at the Thomas and Mack Center. He was introduced to me by Charles Wright, also known as the Godfather and The Undertaker, a couple of friends of mine. These three, along with myself and fellow wrestler Tim Patterson, went to a couple of bars and had some drinks. And I wish to God I had spent more time with Jim Barrier. I have tried on 2 occasions to rent room 105 where Jim died and have been denied access thus far. So I was forced to take a photo of the room through a window. Now I'm only touching on some key points here regarding the conspiracy to end the life of Buffalo Jim. There's so much more to this story. Buffalo Jim, James Barrier, was only 55 years old when he passed.